Have you ever wondered how one man could conquer a territory larger than the Roman Empire in just 25 years? This is the story of Genghis Khan and the Mongol military machine, an army that redefined the art of war and built the largest contiguous land empire in history. From the vast steppes of Central Asia, a new power was rising, led by a man named Temujin, who would later be known as Genghis Khan. The Mongols were about to unleash a storm upon the world. At its peak, the Mongol Empire stretched from the Pacific Ocean to the heart of Europe, a testament to its unparalleled military might. But how did a nomadic people, outnumbered in many of their campaigns, achieve such staggering success? The answer lies in a combination of brilliant strategy, ruthless efficiency, and psychological warfare that left their enemies paralyzed with fear. Let's dive into the core of their military genius. One of their most effective weapons wasn't a sword or a bow, but a message. Before a single arrow was fired, Mongol envoys would arrive at a city's gates. They offered a simple choice: surrender unconditionally, and you will be spared. Pay tribute, join the empire, and your lives and property will be safe. Resist, and you will face total annihilation. This wasn't an empty threat. Tales of cities that defied the Mongols and were utterly destroyed spread like wildfire, creating a powerful aura of dread. Many rulers, hearing of the fate of their neighbors, chose to submit without a fight. This psychological tactic saved Mongol lives and resources, allowing them to conquer vast territories with surprising speed. For those who chose defiance, the Mongol response was methodical and terrifying. But what happened when a city, protected by massive walls, decided to resist? The Mongols, originally nomadic cavalry, were masters of adaptation. They didn't just bypass fortified cities. They became experts in siege warfare. They would conscript engineers and skilled craftsmen from the lands they conquered, turning their enemies' knowledge against them. Soon, the Mongol army was equipped with a fearsome arsenal of siege engines, giant catapults and powerful trebuchets, sometimes built on the spot from local timber, would hurl massive stones, flaming projectiles, and even diseased carcasses over the walls, spreading destruction and disease within. They diverted rivers to flood cities or cut off water supplies to starve the inhabitants into submission. No wall was high enough, no fortress strong enough to feel safe. The Mongols learned, adapted, and overcame every defensive strategy they encountered. On the open battlefield, the Mongols were simply untouchable. Their primary strength was their cavalry, arguably the best of its time. Every Mongol warrior was a superb horseman and archer. Trained from childhood to shoot with deadly accuracy while riding at a full gallop, they moved with incredible speed and coordination, using a sophisticated system of flags and horns to communicate complex commands across miles of chaotic battlefield. One of their signature moves was the legendary feigned retreat. It was a masterpiece of discipline and deception. A Mongol unit would charge the enemy, engage briefly, and then suddenly break and flee in apparent panic. An overconfident or undisciplined opponent, sensing an easy victory, would often break formation and give chase. This was the trap. The pursuing army would be lured into a prearranged kill zone, a location chosen by the Mongols. Suddenly, the fleeing Mongols would turn back, while hidden reserves of heavy cavalry would crash into the enemy's flanks and rear. The disorganized pursuers would be completely surrounded and annihilated. This tactic was used time and time again to defeat larger, seemingly stronger armies. It required incredible trust and discipline from the Mongol soldiers, who had to retreat convincingly without actually panicking. Let's look at a real-world example: the conquest of Samarkand, one of the greatest cities of the Silk Road. In 1220, the Mongol army arrived. Samarkand was a jewel of the Khwarezmian Empire, heavily fortified and defended by a large army, including fearsome war elephants. After a brief siege, the city's defenders sallied out to attack the Mongols. It was a fatal mistake. The Mongols executed a classic feigned retreat, luring the bulk of Samarkand's army away from the safety of its walls. Once in the open, they were surrounded and systematically destroyed. With its main defensive force gone, the city's spirit was broken. The leaders surrendered, hoping for mercy. But for a city that had resisted, even briefly, mercy was selective. While the general population often faced a grim fate, Genghis Khan had a keen eye for talent. He recognized the value of skilled individuals. Artisans, engineers, blacksmiths, and scholars were carefully sorted from the population. These captured specialists were not just spared, they were integrated into the Mongol war machine. The engineers would help build the next siege engine. The artisans would craft better weapons, and administrators would help govern the ever-expanding empire. In this way, every conquest made the Mongol army stronger, more diverse, and more technologically advanced. Samarkand fell, and its finest minds were now working for its conquerors. The military strategies of Genghis Khan were revolutionary. Through a brutal but effective mix of psychological warfare, adaptive siege engineering, and masterful battlefield maneuvers like the feigned retreat, the Mongols created an empire that connected the East and West like never before. The ruins of the cities that resisted stand as a silent monument to the terrifying efficiency of their army. But their legacy is not just one of destruction. The Mongol Empire, forged in fire and conquest, created a period of unprecedented stability known as the Pax Mongolica, which fostered trade, communication, and cultural exchange across continents. Genghis Khan was more than just a conqueror. He was a unifier, a strategist, and an architect of a new world order, whose impact is still felt to this day. Thank you for watching. If you found this journey into Mongol military history fascinating, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into the strategies that shaped our world. See you next time.